Can team names have the words realty or real estate in their team name or marketing, i.e. email, social media, etc.?
Yeah. So I guess the answer is kind of I don't care if it's not confusing to the public, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the rule for team advertising that I think is important for licensees to understand is if you're going to show your team name, you better show your brokerage name with it.
Okay, good to
Right.
know.
So
Right.
at one glance, if I'm looking at a computer screen, I don't want to have to scroll to the bottom of the screen to find your brokerage name, but up at the top of it, I see your team name. I see that violation quite often.
Okay, right.
So team name right next to brokerage name. And then prominently displayed is what our statutes and our rules sort of
Right.
go into.
Right.
And that's been described through the years by different commissioners in different ways. And as a practitioner, it was one of the things that I found tremendously frustrating because, I personally would hire graphic designers and graphic artists to help me with my
Right.
branding, and telling the graphic designer, okay, well, my brokerage name needs to be prominently displayed. And they look at you and they're like, okay, and what does that mean? And I'm like,
Right.
well, if it's a pink Post-it note surrounded by all yellow Post-it notes on this billboard that you're looking at, that pink Post-it note is prominently displayed.
Gotcha.
Well, that was one of the ways the department had
Right.
actually explained prominently displayed before.
Okay.
And so a graphic artist looks at that and they're like, you're kidding, right? You got more than that. So I'm a lot less sort of pink and yellow, and I'm much more, your team name cannot be larger than your brokerage name.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the font size,
Right.
right? So if the brokerage name is, A Realty,
Mm-hmm.
and the team name is the very best team that ever lived in Arizona and practiced real estate team,
Right.
right? Well, then I guess A Realty is going to be enormous because we're not talking about font size, right? We're talking about like the length times width, how much area is covered,
Mm-hmm.
and your brokerage better get at least equal billing. And in my opinion, that gives the consumer a 50-50 shot at finding your designated broker and who you actually report to.